On that now, it's like now you're grown up. Did you look back on that and realize like a bigger picture of what happened?
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah. I look back and found that my parents were the one who suffered the most, and so I wanted people to know about what happened. So that's why I'm just recently coming out with all my stories. Because up to now, I kept it quiet because I just didn't want to talk about it, you know. And my kids even asked me why I never talked about the World War II, and I says, well, I didn't talk about it because you kids never asked me about it, so I just wonder if you guys were even interested. And they says, well, we were interested, but we didn't know you would want to talk about it, so we didn't ask you. You know, it's that way. So anyway, now that I realize that it's very important for me to talk about it, because you know, there's a lot of lessons to be learned, and that's the reason I'm talking about it and building this memorial in downtown Holt Center about the Japanese American internment and what happened there. So,
Tell me about what you're doing for the memorial.
well, the memorial, I'm one of the artists that was selected to design a memorial for the internment, and there's two of us artists selected. One of them was this guy's from Idaho, and he designed a statue of a little girl sitting on this suitcase, waiting for the train to take him away to a camp. And she's just an innocent girl who was playing with a butterfly at that time on top of the suitcase. And that's going to be the entrance way where you'll have this bronze statue there. And then my design is it's going to be on three big stones that's going to be placed in the area, and the first stone is about three people who resisted the evacuation and resisted the military curfew law, and so it's about these three people who was thrown in jail because of that. And the reason I put them on there is because they're the only people that defied the law, and the law that we were put in camp was unconstitutional. But the rest of us, we were just quiet. But they're the one that was thrown in jail, and they found them guilty of breaking the military rule. So they stayed that way until 1970s, where they brought the government to court again, saying that it was unconstitutional to begin with. So they won in the court, and so their names were taken off of the list, and that opened, because of those three people, that opened the gates for the rest of us, 120,000 people who were thrown in camp. It was wrong for us too, so we took them to government to court in 1980s, and what we won, and where President Reagan signed the Civil Liberties Act of 1988, and we got reparation for apology from the government, and also $20,000 each for our anyway. That was my first stone. I'm getting back to my 3 stone. And the middle stone is about family, whole family, grandmother, grandfather, mother and father, and the kid stand there behind a barbed wire with a guard tower behind it. And the second stone is about perseverance, because the family persevered, and they became after the war they became good citizens and all that, and they just didn't let it get them down. They just moved forward. So it was about them. And the third stone is about military. It's about the 442nd Regimental Combat Team and the MIS, Military Intelligence. Well, the 442nd were first formed, and there were a lot of volunteers from camp. And these camps, even from Tule Lake, where it was a segregation camp, there were people volunteering from there to go to fight for America. And they were the most highly decorated unit in American history. And but what made them great is they fought for a country that thought they were spies and saboteurs, and they put them in camp, and they volunteered from there. So and they're the most highly decorated unit. Also, the MIS, Military Intelligence, who fought in the Pacific. You know, they decoded messages from the Japanese messages, and they also interrogated prisoners of war. You know, but they, aside from that, they were fighting just like anybody else. You know, and the general says that because of them, they shortened the war by two years. So I just wanted to praise them on the third stone. So these 3 stones will be in place, and the whole area is going to look like a Japanese garden. And there's going to be a sign out on the garden saying that the garden is dedicated to the Issei, the first generation, like my father and mother, who came from Japan and worked real hard, and they deserve all the praise, you know. So, and the other thing is they, like my father, made a garden in front of the barracks to make it look out of things, you know, like rocks from the dead and sagebrush and everything, to make it look like a Japanese garden, to make it more livable, you know. So that's why I'm dedicating this garden to them. And it's going to be a beautiful sight, you know, and I'm proud to be part of it. And we're getting started to work on it right now.